Zap. Yeah, thank you. Okay, today I would also um let me minimize it and also open up Firefox. I can't see the Firefox. Let me just type Fire. Okay, Firefox app. Double click on it. The system is a little bit slow. Maybe I have to assign more memory to it. Uh-uh. It's a little bit strange. Did I not install Firefox on this thing? Okay. All right, no problem. Let me download it again. Or let me go to the download folders and see if I can see it. Yeah, that's some download. Okay. Yeah, that was Firefox. How come it's not showing? Has anybody kind of like gone over what we did? Or has anybody read anything up about Zap or watched YouTube videos on using Zap? Hello?
Me, no, not yet.
No, no, not yet.
Okay. All right. It would be nice if you kind of like do it because in this field you also have to teach yourself, because not because a lot of times AI has to be your friend. Not only AI, Google has to be your friend. You have to make Google your very good friend, and AI, look for this any of this AI that is very good. For me, the one I use very well, I use a lot of time is I use Gemini, Google Gemini. I use it a lot of times, and I think it's fairly okay. It runs on Chat GBT engine. There is also this Chinese one, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is also good. I mean, Claude is good. Claude, which people does Claude again? I think Claude is of I don't know which people use Claude. I think Claude is Microsoft, or I've forgotten one of these very famous this thing organization does Claude. So Microsoft have theirs, Google have theirs. Which other browser that I use very well? Opera too have theirs. So a lot of browsers have theirs. So I encourage you to use it. It's very nice. You use AI, Google, YouTube, watch a lot of YouTube videos. They're very nice. So, and they're very educative. Sometimes you just type on, you just type of for beginners what I should know about Zap, beginners for Zap. It's very nice because that's how come you get to teach yourself, because a lot of time in this industry you have to teach yourself a lot of things, and it's a very fluid industry. Things change. Things change all the time. I don't know what's happening. Run as administrator. Let me see. So things change all the time. So you have to keep yourself abreast, with the recent trends in the industry. What's happening now?
Chinonso can pause the recording. Sorry.
Yeah, let's have pause recording, please.
Uh,
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So briefly, let's just do this one. YouTube. Does anybody use Amazon Music or Spotify?
Spotify, yes. Amazon, no.
Okay, yeah. So if you go to Spotify and you type Darknet Diaries, you have them there. It's free. It's a free podcast. You don't pay for it. So because sometimes when you go for interviews, they do ask you on questions about your personal development. What do you do to develop yourself or keep yourself abreast? So telling them you're listening to podcasts is one good one. What do I do with this one now? Why would you come and take over my screen like this? This is not right. Better. So let's just briefly, let me just type it and let's just get there briefly, then we'll continue with what we're doing today. Dark net. Yeah, that's it there. Darknet Diaries. It's very entertaining. So let's just play one.
Tackling your security concerns starts with a prompt. With Sola AI, you get answers to the security questions you really care about instantly. Get started with Sola, the AI you need to get security done.
Did you know that there are 280 cups of Nescafe drunk here in Britain every Saturday?
When you're going to Darknet Diaries, do it directly on your system.
So you first came on my radar when I was researching a story. I think it was video game.
So this is
cheats.
𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓.
And I was like trying desperately to find video game people who are selling video game cheats, and nobody wanted to talk with me on the record. I found a couple people that were just willing to chat only, but never like audio. And then I found an interview you did with somebody who's just like, yeah, I sell video game cheats. Yeah, it's like 14 or something. And I'm like, how did you find this guy? And so ever since then, I've had just so much respect. And reading this book is once again a testament of just how deep you can get into this community and reach these people. And so really, hats off to your ability to infiltrate the hacking world.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's become something of a speciality, but
So that's one of it. Take your time, go back, listen to one episode. It's very interesting. If you're listening to one, you want to keep listening to all that. And when you listen to these things, you get used to the cybersecurity jargons. There's some things that say on cybersecurity jargons, you get used, you start getting used to the cybersecurity jargons, and sometimes they talk on issues that are very interesting, and you yourself personally, you go off and recite. So this is one place. Then there's another place, and this is 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓. So you can write Darknet Diaries down. Let me show you another one.
And I was a general correspondent at Sky News doing all sorts of bits and bobs, but then in
Then
2014,
sometimes this guy interviews guys that they didn't go to university.
Sony PlayStation.
From probably they just started studying about security online or started playing video games, and from there, they learned one or two things on hacking. From there, they started getting into hacking. Some of them get arrested, and after they get arrested, they come out of jail, they clean up, they can't really get into the job industry again, and they now use the IT skills that they have acquired as when they were hackers, and they now use that skill and employ it to come up with security ideas, and they set up security companies, and some of them become millionaires. Some of them change their life around and start making money from security, and you hear so many different type of cybersecurity niche you can even get into and make money. So you see, guys, a lot of people that started from the scratch, just like you, and they've become something big. Millions every month from just their subscribers. Cybersecurity, like purchases made by their customers. You should have more than enough funding to be able to protect against these attacks.
Do you not feel guilty that you've taken so much enjoyment of gaming away from more than 100 million people over this Christmas period?
I'd be rather worried if those people didn't have anything better to do than play games on their consoles on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I mean, I can't really. Sorry, this virtual website is a little bit slow. I don't know. I might have forced a couple of kids to spend their time with their families instead of playing games.
I can't believe that clip. This kid calling himself Ryan, appearing on Sky News, not hiding his face or voice at all, admitting to taking down Xbox Live and PlayStation.
Just hold on, please. I don't know why. I just want to show you guys these things, because when I started listening to podcasts, those were one of the things that actually encouraged me.
Do it, people. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, so get ready. Hold on to your pants because it's going to get is nearly impossible. I would argue it is completely impossible. Discover the most critical threats and practical tips, actually actionable things you can do on how to overcome remediation fatigue with a new approach to efficiently reducing risk with XM Cyber's 2023 State of Exposure Management Report. There's a link in the description below. Just go down, click on it, get the report. Tons of great, juicy tidbits, facts, statistically supported evidence that you can A, use to better educate yourself, B, use to basically compel the business, make a good marketing angle pitch to the business for investment dollars. And three, just to kind of familiarize yourself with exposure management, which is essentially a new
Okay, yeah, I got it. The thing is cybersecurity headlines. If somebody can write it down, this one is very good. Every day there's a new podcast.
The CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
Yeah, this one is very good.
Shiny Hunters and Scattered Spider merge. DARPA awards big prize for AI code hunting, and our water system needs help from volunteers. These are some of the stories that my colleagues and I have selected from this past week's cybersecurity headlines. All of our producers on cybersecurity headlines, as always.
So if you watch this one now, it's from August 11 to August 15, 2025.
Yes.
So every day there is a new news. There is news every day on strictly on cybersecurity. They tell you the recent events that is happening in the cybersecurity headlines, the recent hacks, the recent problems, and sometimes they also tell you the recent ways, the trend on how to solve some problems. So this one is very good. For like beginners, listen to these ones.
Cybersecurity.
And Jack Resider.
Thank you.
And the guys that the future are guys that are into cybersecurity who know what they are doing. Some big names in cybersecurity, they usually, co-host with them. So this is good. So I advise you, I encourage you to do this if you have the time. It will really help you. Okay, so we'll now get back to what we are doing today. I just wanted to show you that. Yep, so I'll close that. Minimize that. So So we go to automated scan. So let's like now, if you see, just like we did the last time, you see that because I've also pointed our Firefox to our Zap too. So Zap now is now acting as a web proxy, as a web proxy server to the Firefox. So any website we click on Firefox come up on the left side here. So now let us do an automated scan. So now I've clicked on that automated scan. Is everybody seeing what I'm doing?
Yes.
Yeah. So
maybe you go back. Where did you get that automated scan from?
Okay.
Go back, please.
Yeah. So yeah, on the interface here, so you have automated scan, manual scan, and learn more. So we now click on automated scan here. Have you seen it? Hello?
I've seen it.
Okay, so we now click on it. So we come to this place and we type mentorskid.com. So we now say here, we now click on here, attack. So if you look at the interface, down here is showing us the progress reports, the process reports on so far, so good, how far it's gone in attacking the website. So let's see the results it gets us. How many of us have access to the library? Hello?
Please, can you say that again?
You have how many of us have access to the library?
No, I don't think I have. No.
I'm guessing that's like a dictionary of sorts.
No, library like a website that's Okay, you guys don't have access to it. All right, okay, I understand. And probably in the advanced class, you have access to it.
Well, they can have their own account too.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's limited. Yeah, they have limited thing they can do, but they can see the website and see a lot of cybersecurity stuffs are there that you can learn.
Yeah, which is actually what I will encourage you to also do. I don't know where you're staying, but if you're staying in probably UK, Dubai or America or any place, I would say that it's something that is worth investing into. I think it's about 300 and something pounds. So they charge you for the full package. They charge about 30 something pounds every month subscription. Let me see if I can open that one too. So you see, they have free ones for individuals, free access. So this one is very, 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 very good. This site, Cybrary, it will teach you anything on security, anything, even cloud security, AWS, Microsoft, anything on security, vulnerability assessment, SIM tools. Just think of anything. It's a good what for your money. It's what investing into, So let's click on the pricing. So this is Cybrary free access. I will encourage you to do it. Cybrary Inside Pro. Even if I said, okay, look now, they're on offer. So now they're on £19.75 per month, billed annually. You can say pay monthly. Pay monthly £35.25. I'm telling you, this is what investing into. Forget about the money. You will not regret the money. The only thing is are you ready to learn? Are you ready to study? So if you do this one, this is very good. Then there is another one too. Hack the box. So this is another one, very, very good. This hack the box, it's very, very good. So these ones will even take you towards they have hands-on lab courses and learning paths, industry certification, student program. So the thing is what do you want to do? So they also have a free aspect, they have a free one and they have a paid version. So you can start with the free one first. You see, they have might attack, NIST, that, some of these things that we have done, they also have this. So this one, hack the box, is very good. Then there is another one. I've forgotten the name of that one. Let me just type hack the box alternative. Yeah, try hack me. Try hack me. Sometimes when you go for interview and they ask you, what do you do for your personal development? These are things you tell them you do. And even try hack me, depending on your level of information, the level is they also set assignments, targets. So the more you do, you gain access. The more challenges you do here, they give you certificates. And some of these certificates, you can post them online. Or if you have your LinkedIn profile, post your certificate on your LinkedIn profile. And it's very good because once you do this thing regularly, you see, like I told you about challenges, when you do these things regularly, no matter baby steps, these are some of the things that employers look for, so they say they want to see that you're doing something, and this is an easy way for you to prove that you are doing something, every day to develop yourself. You might look small, but they want to see you do things daily. So try hack me is very good. You can join for free. There's a free version and there is a paid version. You can start with the free version, and in the free version, they give you daily challenges. They give you daily things to learn, and when you learn those things daily and they give you challenges, you do it. That day goes off. The next day, they give you something else again. So if you, by the time you do this thing consistently for like 30 days, you'll be too shocked how far you've gone. And sometimes some of the things we learn here, you can go here and do it. Baby steps. Gradually, you begin to grow up the ladder. And they also have the paid version. So sometimes it all depends on how serious you are. You can invest in this thing. Cyber is good. Hack the Box is good. Try Hack Me. These are also very good. Then if you like whatsoever we study now, you can try and create content and post them on YouTube. If you create content, you try and post them on YouTube, update them on LinkedIn, all the things you have learned, you can go back, do a portfolio, then fantastic. Okay, let me give you this thing. Then all the things you've learned, you can do a write-up for yourself and post it on you set up a blog, your own personal blog site. So you do some write-up, you post it up your blog site, you put a link, put it on your LinkedIn, put it on Facebook, and anybody who clicks on the link goes to your blog site. These are things that you do to help your CVs. And your blog site, you can paste the URL on your LinkedIn profile, because sometimes when recruiters look at some of these little things, and you'll be too shocked the number of people they'll be clicking on your profile, when they're looking for employers, and because it's from your blog site, they can even contact you and tell you, hey, we saw this thing on your blog. Are you available to talk? Can we talk about job opportunities here, there? And you sometimes don't underestimate some of these things, and it could just get you that opening you are looking for. So doing things, posting it on Facebook, posting it on LinkedIn, just like people do vlogging, video skits, and they post it. You can just do it from your phone, talk about something and you post it, and the more you do it, the more you become so confident about it. And the more you become confident about it, because learning this thing is one thing, having the confidence to talk about what during interviews is another thing. It's sometimes it might not really be as easy as you think. You really have to be very conversant to some of these things to talk about it boldly in an interview. So that's why I kind of like pointed out the podcast Darknet Diaries to you, and Cyber Security Daily News. When you listen to it, these things frequently, the jargon, cybersecurity jargons begins to get into you. So, and that it will also boost your confidence too. So that's one thing, doing that. Then there's something I'd also wanted, then portfolio. Like you also need a portfolio. Portfolios help. If you open a Google, if you open up a Gmail, they also have their Google Drive. Microsoft have their own, and it is free to a certain extent. Like Google is free to like 15 gigabytes. So most of your portfolios or whatsoever you do, like this vulnerability, setting up a virtual environment we've done, you can go to YouTube, look at how they did setting up a virtual environment, or you look at the videos. Then when you look at the videos, you now do your own write-up on how to set up a virtual environment. You do a lot of screenshots. You put it together like a PowerPoint presentation, or a Microsoft presentation. You just put it up together. After putting it up together, you now upload it to your Google Drive. When you now upload that document to your Google Drive, you now click the link and make it accessible to anybody who clicks on that link. You now take that link, you go down to your CV and you paste it on your CV, the link on your CV. When you paste it on your CV, not only on your CV, you can go to your LinkedIn profile and also paste it there. And so anybody who wants to see what your portfolio, you create a portfolio section for on your LinkedIn profile, and you also on your CV you create a portfolio links. Whereby you write portfolio links. You now put the URL of that document you have set up and placed in your Google Drive. You now paste the link there. So sometimes recruiters, when they come across your CV and they see that link, once they click that link, it takes them straight to your Google Drive, and they can see whatsoever it is that you have done. Probably what you did on setting up a virtual environment, even Zap, how you used Zap, how you tested it on your website, the results it gave you. Then as you're copying and paste, you're doing a screenshot and pasting. Then you leave a little note, like I assessed, I did a vulnerability scan on this thing and I generated this report, and this is what the report gave me, and this is the vulnerability in this website. This is actually what is the problem in this website, and this is how it can be solved. You leave a little note on the screenshots, as a document. You now paste it there. So sometimes recruiters, when they click on this link and they see what you have done, believe you me, on the interview is more or less like some of them might not even ask you so much questions on the interview because they've already seen what you've done. It's just one or two questions they might ask you to actually prove that you really actually did those things yourself. And once they ask you one or two questions and voila, your answers is as good as the ones you've pasted on your Google Drive, or what they've seen, your works they've seen on the portfolio. That is good. That's enough good land you a job. So I don't know. I'm just saying this thing because sometimes doing this thing takes time. Do you have the time? Because for me personally, it is the time you need to do these things. If you have a wife, you have children, and you're working, having the time to do all these things might not be that easy, but however, if you can do that, if you can probably gradually take your time, little by little, document everything you do, all your learning process, and put them up in a portfolio, it will definitely and really help you. So yeah, so let's see what the results of the scan. So now on this lower part, this lower section is actually the results of the scans, we've done on mentalskit.com or any website that you have gone to. So now, do you see most of these things are green? So when you see that green, it kind of like tells you, it's like a straight report on about that aspect, that probably, yeah, nothing really wrong with that. So let's see, it's still processing. It says processed. Let's say, let me click on this one. Let me see what it says here. This one that's red. It's still processing. This virtual environment, sometimes they can be very, very slow. So that's why if you have a good system, and it's also nice for you to, yeah, I don't know, down here, if you go down, if you see the last, let's say it's rebooting again. I'd wanted to say something and I forgot now, so I don't know. I pray I remember it. So I'll encourage you, if you go home, or you guys are already home, self, you just watch a little videos on using Zap as a vulnerability scanning tool. There are some other vulnerability scanning tools out there too. I will also encourage you to do a lot on Wireshark, because Wireshark is. Have you guys done Wireshark? You know what Wireshark is?
Yes.
Okay.
We have done
Wireshark.
Wireshark. We have
Yeah.
done it.
Wireshark, when you go for interviews, these initial interviews, Wireshark is one thing they will always somehow ask you question on. Wireshark is your good tool. It's one of the basic tools you should have knowledge of. Wireshark, SIM tools and SIM, like Microsoft Sentinel, IBM QRadar, and there's this other popular one that has just skipped my mind too again. Tosi, can you remind me this thing, a SIM tool, apart from Splunk, yeah. You see, in fact, Microsoft Azure Sentinel and Splunk, these two, these are the most common SIM tool in the industry out there. I think IBM QRadar too is popular. Then Wazoo on Cybersecurity too. Wazoo is open source, it's free. You don't pay for it. So, but if you want some features, some add-on features, you have to now pay for it on Wazoo. But Wazoo is a very good one to study. And sometimes if you know one, it's like the knowledge you have of one, you can just replicate it on other ones. So I don't know. So some of these things, I don't know why I'm just telling you guys. It's something you need to really sit down and gradually, take your time, to study. So now, on this screen now, at the bottom strip here, where it says alerts, where my cursor is, you find out like, this is like the result of the attack, the website we've attacked, the mentor skid. So it says alerts 0, then what it wants, medium. The red ones is critical, high priority alerts. Then the medium priority alerts, we have 10. The low priority alerts, we have 10 of them. Then the informational priority alerts, we have 12 of it. So now, I'll just scroll down and we'll just pick one. Let's pick this one and look at it. Why is this one not opening? Obviously, I'm going to assign more resources to this thing, to this virtual server. This should open now. Okay, let's go here. Okay, yeah. I click on alerts. Huh? This is really dragging. It's taking a lot of time. Okay, so Okay. Let's go here. All right. So clicking on here, you see this one, the URL. It's giving us a report. It says URL http mentorstep.com. You say risk associated. Here is medium, confidence medium, parameter X-frame options, attack. So these on CWEID 10, these let me get this. So now, you've heard of OWASP?
Yes.
Yeah. So OWASP are the guys that's kind of like are behind ZAP. So you see like this alert tags key by the sites OWASP is giving you like a link. So if you copy this, if we copy this now and we go to this web, paste this thing on a web browser. Don't want to use that one. That they're using its virtual browser. The thing is so slow. But I might just be forced to use this one now. It's not going. Oh dear. This is done nice now. Oh, what is this one? Actually, these places I'm clicking, this place, these links is giving us is actually whereby we'll go up and we'll now read up the vulnerabilities of the scan we've just done. This is where we go back and it tells us, it gives us a detailed description of concerning what we just did. It's not what I want to do. Exactly. Hello? Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So actually the link we got from this thing here now. Where did I didn't tell you to do another scan now. Okay. So the alert tags it gave us, like the key, like this particular one, I just clicked on 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐓. So this is where it's giving us actually the page whereby we can go and read up about the vulnerability concerning this mentorship.com. It just highlighted. So it's just like it's giving us place whereby we can go and read up about it. So on this place now, you can see that this place, it has OWASP. This one has dates 2021. Maybe I'll just click on that website too. And then we'll now do a little read up on what it's telling us, what he wants us to read about, what he wants to warn us concerning. So we'll just copy, minimize, come to this place, paste, enter. Okay, so now let's start with this one. Common weakness enumeration, top 25. So it says improper restriction of rendered UI layers or frames. So let's read on. It says the web application does not restrict or incorrectly restricts frame objects or UI layers that belong to another application or domain, which can lead to user confusion about which interface the user is interacting with. So it says a web application is expected to place restriction on whether it is allowed to be rendered within frames. So it's educating you on the vulnerabilities, so the alternate, so it's telling you clickjacking. That is one of the attacks that can happen here with that type of vulnerability. It has highlighted. So alternate clickjacking is one of the things that can happen. So it also, tapjacking is similar to clickjacking, except it is used for mobile application in which the user taps the application instead of performing a mouse click. Now, it says impact. If you go further, it says common consequences, impact details. Now, it goes further to tell you, an attacker can trick a user into performing actions that are masked and hidden from the user's view. The impact varies widely depending on the functionality of the underlying application. For example, in social media application, clickjacking could be used to trick the user into changing privacy setting. That means on the interface itself, when you type, you click on something, the thing has already been programmed to do something else, not actually what you intend to do. So it's just telling that this is one of the vulnerabilities that can be associated with that, the vulnerabilities, attack that can occur with the vulnerability it has highlighted here. So it's just informing you concerning that. So if you read further, potential mitigations, telling you how you can go about it and solve these problems. It says the use of X-frame options allows developers of web content to restrict the user of the application within the form of overlays, frame or iframes. The developer can indicate from which domains can frame the content. The concept of X-frame options is well documented, but implementation of this protection mechanism is in development to cover gaps. There is a need for allowing frames from multiple domains. So you see, what is highlighting us and advising us on these things now. With this, if you read up these things now, in your reports, you now give a report, write a report to the company that you have you've scanned their website. Let's like mentorskill.com. With this, you now tell them this is the vulnerability we have discovered, and this is what can happen with the vulnerability, and this is the way you can solve the problem. Remember the last time in the last class, I told you that when you do a vulnerability scan, this tool also recommends to you, it will not only highlight the problems for you, it will also give you a recommendations on how to solve the problems. Because you see, a lot of these things now, these scans we are doing, like I told you in the last class, what it actually does, it compares what it discovers on the scanned website with a catalog of events that have happened in the past, maybe in the past, distant past or close past, that has also been, that is documented, and bearing in mind how the issues was mitigated, the event was mitigated when it happens at that time, it will now profile, give you an advice. This is what we have discovered, and this is what you can do concerning it. So implementation. So now look at the implementation. We go further. It says a developer can use a frame breaker script in each page that should not be framed. You see, it's giving you a solution at the same time. So when you're writing your report, this is what you tender to the organization, and you tell them this is what your developer who has developed your website should go and do to make sure that this vulnerability does not exist anymore. So if you go there, it will tell you a lot of things. Now, let's read the third one. It says, this defense in-depth technique can be used to prevent the improper usage of frames in web applications. So further down, let's go further. So sometimes some of these things, it's is a little bit, a lot of readings you need to do. So now in the next section is giving us selected observed examples. So now this CVE reference, it is also an event that has happened, a documented event. So it says now email preview feature in a desktop application allows clickjacking attacks via a crafted email message. I'm sure you've done phishing email attacks too. I'm sure you guys have done that one. So you see that email is coming up here. The next one, it says hardware/firmware product has insufficient clickjacking protection in its web user interface. So the next one says clickjacking in data loss prevention product via HTTP response header. So these are also, it's giving you examples of attack that can occur here. So last one here, it says system UI in mobile operating system allows a malicious application to create a UI overlay of the entire screen to gain privileges. So actually, it's usually a lot of reads. Attack pattern name, related attack patterns. So it says clickjacking, flash file overlay, iframe overlay, tax impersonation, tap jacking, cross frame scripting, credential prompt impersonations. So this is this thing. Following the link, it's giving us probably the vulnerability mapping allowed. So it's told us about the weakness. If you look at the number, it says weakness ID 1021. So now let's go to this one too. This one is from another website too. I think these guys are the guys that are responsible for the Zap tool that we are using. OWASP top 10. So it says security misconfiguration. So that's what they are also highlighting in the assessment the tool has also done. So if you go down, you also read. It says, moving up from No 6 in the previous edition, 90% of applications were tested for some form of misconfiguration with an average incidence rate of 4.51% and over 208,000 occurrences. You see it's telling us with an average incident rate of 4.15%. So now if you look at this number, it looks small, but it is not small because this 4.15% is for the whole world. It's for, imagine the number of people who access the internet and who click on things on web pages, even right now, all over the whole world. And it's telling you 4.5% of those people, we have an incident with this kind of security misconfiguration on their web server. So now, into 208,000 occurrences. So you see that it's, in as much as the percentage looks small, it's not actually small, considering the number of people that might have issues with this all over the whole world. So description, it says, if we go and we read, the application might be vulnerable. The application might be vulnerable if the application is misappropriate security hardening across any part of the application stack or improperly configured permission on cloud services like AWS, Google, Microsoft. Unnecessary features are enabled or installed. So in this particular account is advising us to harden the website. I'm sure, do we know what, when we talk of hardening a website or hardening infrastructures, do we know, do we understand what we are, the meaning of that when you say to harden a website?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So now it says unnecessary features are enabled or installed. So like unnecessary ports. So which means it's also telling you close down every port that you're not using. If you know any port that is not being used, close it down. Service pages that are necessary, accounts that are not being used, or privileges that the person does not really need, take all those privileges off. So we just have to apply the least privilege principle here. Default accounts and their passwords are still enabled, are unchanged. Now, like the links I've told you, the cyber, I think it's cyber headlines, daily headlines, like I just told you now. If you're listening to that podcast, you will come to discover that one of the most common vulnerabilities in organizational network is default admin username, default username, and default password. A lot of organizations, big organizations, they don't even change the default username. So a lot of times when you want to get into their network, if you type admin, you and I know that admin is one of the most common usernames that people use. Then password, admin, username, admin, password, admin. A lot of companies don't change this, and it is still a big common problem all over the world. I mean, if you listen to the news, you'll be too shocked what they will be telling you. Because sometimes cybersecurity is just common sense. So default account and their password are still being enabled and changed. So error hardly reveals tags, traces, and all. So all this is what you get from there. I don't know. So let us speed up things a little bit. Let us go back there. So now that's the beautiful thing about these tools. It's like they do the work for you and they do the answer. You ask the question, they ask the questions for you and they answer it themselves. So if we pick on this one too, go back there and paste it. I'm sure when Pat comes back, she will also do a lecture on this. Vulnerability assessment is quite a vast one, and sometimes we've not even started going into the details of it, so this one is just surface level, exactly. Fantastic. So you see, sometimes after you've done this vulnerability scan, it's also beautiful, whatsoever they tell you, links, you open it up and you look at it and understand what they're trying to tell you. And before we go today, I'll also tell you, we'll also do a report and get to show you how to secure a report for this scan we've just done. It says threat agents / attack vectors. So you say it's graded as exploit app specific, exploitability tree, prevalence tree, detectability tree, impacts technical to business, question mark. So it's even educating us. Attackers will often attempt to exploit unpatched flaws or access default accounts. So now it's still talking about accounts, unused pages, unprotected files and directory, etc., to gain authorized access and knowledge of the system. So obviously, the kind of vulnerability it has spotted on this website, probably we have some unused pages here. So that's why it's advising us against all that. So maybe the developer has to go back through his configuration. If there is some form of unused pages, he has to close down, has to deal with it. So this is your job. You've done the scan, and you go through it. Security misconfiguration can happen at any level of an application stack. So it's advising you, giving you information. Then you see, it says it's also is the application vulnerable? How to prevent? Secure installation process should be implemented, including, it gives you all that. So now, let's go back. And meanwhile, this is just one. It's just pointing out. So as against so many. So if you click on the next one too, vulnerable JS library, vulnerable JavaScript library. That's what it means. Oh dear. Now, hello, are you looking at the screen? On the right side, can you see other info? The next, the next header, subheader, can you see the solution here? It's recommending. It says upgrade to the latest version of the affected library. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
Yeah. Then it's also giving us a reference, So I don't know. I know for the sake of time, maybe I'll just click, highlight it. Let us go back and do a little read up and see what it's trying to do it. So after this, I'll now show us how to generate a report on this. So we'll now minimize, add another web page, come and paste it, So doing vulnerability assessment, honestly, if this is your job, there are some people, what you are doing now, there are some people, this is their job. Every day, they are cybersecurity experts. This is just actually what they do in the office. Now, even if you have a cloud your office have their IT network set up in the cloud, like AWS, Azure. This all you do, because AWS, they also have their own vulnerability scanning tools. This ZAP, you also have the web version, the cloud version in AWS. You also have the version, I'm sure you also have the version, cloud version in Microsoft Azure. You go to the cloud market, AWS or Microsoft, you can buy it, and this is a tool. All you need to do is you just scan the organization network. Once you just scan it, it will give you all these things. Like we are doing this read up now, we are doing it. And you also use the tool, you now generate a report. When you now generate the report, you now send it to the necessary quarters, probably to the managers, developers, and that is your job done. You just have to read it up to spot the vulnerability that is talking about, and you use the tool to generate reports, and this is your job done. Some people, this is all that they do. Now let's read this. It says overview. It was note 2 from the top 10 community survey, but also had enough data to make the top 10 via data. Vulnerable components are a known issue that we struggle to test and assess risk, and it's the only category not to have any common vulnerability and exposures mapped to the included CWE. So a default exploit stroke impact weight of 5.0 is used. Notable CWEs included are, now let me just get the meaning of this CWE. Why is this thing doing this now? How do I go to that?
It's common weakness enumeration.
Yeah, common weakness. And thank you so much. Why is this thing doing this? Yeah. Common weakness enumeration. So it says, description, you are likely vulnerable. If you do not know the versions of all these components you use, both client side and server side, this includes components you directly use as well as nested dependencies. If the software is vulnerable, unsupported, or out of date, this includes the operating system, web application, server, data management, runtime environment and library. If you do not scan for vulnerabilities regularly and subscribe to security bulletins related to the components you use, if you do not fix or upgrade the underlying platform, frameworks, and dependencies in a risk-based timely fashion, this commonly happens in environment when patching is a monthly or quarterly task under charge control. Have you done patch? Have you talked about? Have you done patching?
No.
Hello?
No.
Okay. It says how to prevent. There should be a patch management process in place to remove unused dependencies, unnecessary features, component files, and documentation. Patching, patch management or patching. What patch management means is updating your it's like updating your web applications, web applications, and the security features of all these applications. That's what actually patching is all about. Let's say like you have Microsoft operating system on your laptop or your desktop or your network. You have to make sure that it's consistently updated. So when these systems or applications update, part of the process is like the people that developed these systems and these applications, they've already or wrote this code, they've spotted vulnerabilities or weaknesses in the codes that they have written, or there might have been an event or incident somewhere and somebody exploited the web applications. So they now have to rewrite a code and cover up those loopholes. in the applications or in the codes in the computer programs they have written for these applications. So when they cover up the security, the vulnerability holes or the security holes, they now update it. When they update it, so sometimes they now send it up as updates to people who have the applications running on their systems. So that's why on your phone you regularly have updates, both your Android updates. So when you run this update, what it does is that it now covers every loophole in the application program running on your phone, your desktop system, all that. So a lot of all applications should have updates. So now these updates are very, very necessary, because if you don't update your system regularly and that vulnerabilities exists, hackers can take advantage of it. And believe you me, hackers are always going through application programs, software programs, looking for loopholes that they can exploit. So there are some guys that's actually all that they do. And this podcast I've sent to you, go and listen to it. You'll be too shocked. Like there was one I heard the other day on Reddit. Reddit had a loophole in their software, web application software. So a lot of hackers took advantage of that Reddit, to gain access into people's, networks, organizations, and a lot of people use Reddit. So immediately they had access, and Reddit is also installed on their laptops. So immediately they had access into their Reddit accounts. They now penetrated the systems and some other applications on that account. So it was quite notorious. Google does have it from time to time, even Microsoft. So that's why they scan their applications, not from time to time. They are always scanning for vulnerabilities, and they don't joke with it. Because and these people also have names to protect, so, and they don't want to be seen as vulnerable in terms of security wise. So they actually spend a lot of money in updating. So updating is something that one should do regularly. I know you must have come across a very famous event that happened with NHS, not too long, and it just came, and one of the main problems was that they were using old forms of Windows. They had equipment that were running on old versions of Windows operating systems, and of course they had vulnerabilities, and the hackers were able to take advantage of the vulnerabilities, in the old Windows operating systems, and they lost a lot of data and also cost them a lot of money. So a security update is very, very important. And that's why you have to. So it's just like patch management. These are very important things we do. So from there, so let's just go straight and let me just talk about how we can draw up a report on what we have done now. So I hope I've not closed that thing because I'm not seeing it again. Yeah, that's it. So now concerning all that we've done, generating a report concerning this. So you see here we have file, edit, view, analyze, report. So we come here, report. You now click on generate reports. So we have scope templates. Let's click on it. So on filter options, when you come to filter, you say what do you want? What do you want it to generate report on? You know, what level do you want report on? High, medium, low, informational. So include confidences. So let's just say, let me just remove informational. And because sometimes when it generates these reports, it's report name fashion. Let's just say mentor skid 15 backslash 08 backslash 2025 templates directory. So templates. Traditional, yeah. So under templates, you come here, you see traditional PDF report. You know, just click on it because if you click on all this, if you leave it on all these ones, you know, it's just asking you the format. Which format do you want it to present the report in? So of course, everybody will have PDF format is something like it's a presentable format and everybody can read, and at least you can submit it to your boss as is a presentable format. Let me just put it that way. So you click on that. Sections, allowed counts, instant chat, allowed details. This is scope. So this is the sites we want is going to give us a report on. So I don't know. So let me just say I just want a report on mentor skit. So I'm going to take that off. I don't know. Oh dear. Sorry, I don't want it to generate reports on all the sites because if you click on it to generate report on that site. So let me just see. Yeah, let me highlight it first and let me see if it will just generate reports. It's still giving me the same thing. Let me just leave it like that anyway. Report directory. Let me just see where I can put it. See users Owen. Put it on a desktop. Save. Filter options. Remove low. Options. Report name pattern. Let me leave that like that. Honestly, I don't want it to generate report for all these things. I don't know. Click generate report. Report would not contain any alarms and generate if no report not selected. Generate reports.
Hi, Siri.
Hello.
Hi. I need to step out in like 2 minutes. So I don't know if we are
Who is this?
almost done. This is Nomso speaking.
Okay, you're doing the recording,
And
right?
I'm the one recording, yes. I would have
Okay.
mentioned it at the beginning of the class, but I did not know we will like get over 6 or stay up to this time.
Oh, so sorry. Oh,
No, that's fine.
okay. Oh,
I mean, it may just be, what I'm trying to say is the video may be twice because I may have to just make someone host because at the time I'm leaving.
okay. Make someone a host.
Okay.
Make someone the host, please. I even have 32 alerts on this thing itself. Show sites in tab, copy URL, save as raw. Okay. Still coming up with this thing. So, hello, have you finished? Have you stepped out?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I wanted to just briefly speak to say Tosin to please step into the main room. The main room. So like I could transfer the host to him. Because I can't do it
Okay.
on this page for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got this now. So let's say generate reports.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, I should have paused it. Hi.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you just hear the recording in progress?
Yes.
Ah. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Let me go back and pause it, I guess. because I don't really understand what just happened. I'm sorry, just give me a second.
That means I have to record again. We'll have two recordings then, or what?
Oh, it's still recording actually. Yeah, we'll have to recording because I can't transfer to my phone. I checked it out because I don't have the what's the thing, the kind of account that allows recording on phone.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But I think he's at the tail end. It's just that I can't have yeah. I need to actually step out. Sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Let
I
me
was even
pause.
thinking so that he will have run it. It's just generated for that all, and then you know, so that it won't be too long. The video should not be too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, just one second.